Welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about date nights after kids.
Yeah.
Building your family team starts with a strong marriage. And as Steve's granddad used to say, the way to love your children is to love your spouse. And the biggest way and the best way that we find to keep our love alive is for date nights or nights away. And in this episode, we are going to explore why they're important and essential to building a healthy family team. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Unfortunately, in Australia, the divorce rate is on the rise. According
Mm.
to the AIS, between 2020 and 2021, there's been a rise of 13% in Australia of divorces, which we think is really sad. And
Mm.
we've always said that divorce is not an option in our marriage. But it's actually more than just making that decision. We've seen plenty of older couples or couples our age who divorce isn't an option, but they're having a pretty crappy,
Mm.
rubbish time. And that's not what we mean by divorce is not an option. We actually sort of mean the other way, is that we work so much on our marriage that a divorce isn't an option because we stay in love with each other. We have heaps of fun with each other. We're best friends, and we actually like being together. We're intentional to work on our marriage. So, like at the moment, we are currently on a date night. Nicole picked the hotel.
Me?
Yes, she did, based on economic factors, which is I appreciate about Nicole. She's a simple being, and you'll see our decor is a light switch. This place is. We've got a spa, so we could have a spa together. I think maybe my big toe might fit in it, but that's okay, and that's what I mean. Like,
Look, it's clean.
yeah, it's clean. That's
It's
right.
got a
It's clean.
pretty lake to look at
It's
as
pretty
well.
late,
Yeah,
and we're pretty blessed at the moment. Nicole's parents have got the 5 kids. They're crazy for taking that
amazing.
on. So we can have a date night. We like to practice what we preach, but this is a bigger one. We're away for a whole night,
Yeah,
and
woohoo.
it's been a big feat to pull off, hasn't it? It's
Yeah.
taken a lot of time to get the cogs moving in the right direction for
Mm.
5 kids to be away. But our date nights don't always look like this.
No.
Often it's putting the kids to bed early and then ordering some dinner in with no TV on, and it might be going for a walk together where we can, or whatever it might be. They're not always big like this these days, but that's what we like to do: keep our marriage strong, having fun, and enjoying things together.
Yeah, I guess too. Date nights have changed for us over the years. Before we had children, we could do anything we
Every
wanted on a
night.
date night. Yeah, every night was a date night. But now we have children, and the more children that we've had, it's got easier. Sorry, it's got harder to pull off, and it's easier to just let it go. But we don't want to do that, and so we have decided that date nights are a regular thing for us. And bless our families who help us out and look after our children. But we're also well aware that not everyone's got family that
Yeah.
can help them either, and so we have to. Yeah, we've discussed it lately that sometimes these days now we've got kids and it's harder to have date nights. It can be just the little things throughout the day. We might send each other a text that I love you, or I can't wait to see you tonight, or, oh, do you want to get this for dinner tonight and put the kids to bed early, or things like that. It doesn't have to be hard because it is hard to make time with kids to do it. But we've decided it's really important for our marriage. And it might sound cliche, but we are really best friends and
Yeah.
we love spending time together and love having our marriage thrive as well.
I think the main thing is that you stay in pursuit of each other. You stay
Mm,
in pursuit of relationship, in pursuit of loving each other. So, it's easy to live together, but to actually remain in friendship and love, it just takes time.
yeah,
Um,
and we need it to grow our relationship and also to keep our team going, our family team, because the strength of our family team starts with us and
yeah,
with our marriage, which then flows through to our children. Our children often will be like, "Oh, why do you have to go away?" or "Why do you have to go out for dinner?" or things like that. And why don't we get to go? And I often say to them, I know it might be hard, but it's really important for mummy and daddy to be the best mummy and daddy that we can be. So it really helps our marriage and
mhm.
helps our parenting as well. Yeah.
So these days, we often start date nights a little jokingly and sort of introduce ourselves to each other as if we've never met before, because life's so hectic that sometimes it sort of feels that way. Because when you have children, right, it's easy to focus on them and their needs and your responsibilities with them, which are endless. I think what we did 6 loads of washing yesterday. Finally folded them up today. Like, it's pretty crazy. Um, so, like, it's easy to sort of forget that you're in a loving, fun relationship. And so date nights bring that back, but it doesn't mean, sometimes we've been on date nights and we feel like, oh, all we're doing is talking about the kids. You know what? That's actually okay. And we actually really enjoy that. Um, we, we like to talk about how awesome they are. We like to talk about what their achievements are. We like to
Mm.
talk about what the struggles currently are. And this kid seems to be not getting any attention, or this kid seems to be off in this way. How can we help? And it's a way of us actually getting back together in line with our parenting as best as we can. We like to talk about funny memories with them. Problem solve issues, or like practical things around the house, like the washing's not getting done. It's opportunity for us to actually talk about some hard things if we need to. Things that might be annoying Nicole about me. It's never really the other way, but yeah, definitely the
Aw.
way I annoy Nicole. Um, that's fine. Day nights are an awesome time to go away and actually take a check of a team. Like, you're the coaches, right? And so the coaches go away, they work out what the team needs, and then go back in for training and games after that. And so that's one of the ways we see date nights working.
Yeah, another thing we see is it really strengthens our bond and reminds us why we fell in love in the first place. And we have some fun doing that as well. So sometimes the fun these days, our energy is a little bit lower, but we still try and have fun. And we often do something that we love, that is fun for us to do. But we often like to do something
Like an
activity
activity,
wise, like an
yeah.
activity. So we love often we go for a hike or bushwalk, or and before we've done mountain bike riding together, which I actually like didn't fall off, which was amazing. We like to find a good place for dinner, or even sometimes hot chips at the beach. So it doesn't have to be hard. It
No.
doesn't the activity doesn't matter as such, but we just like doing things together that we like to do. We're outdoors people, so we just love being outdoors. So
It doesn't need to be expensive. This room we're in right now, I remembered I had Qantas points left over from a work trip last year. It cost us $30, hence
woohoo.
why we're looking at PowerPoints all night. But $30 for a room, it's clean. Who cares? But like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Hot
Mm,
chips at the beach isn't an expensive one. But then it's nice sometimes to feel like kings and queens and save up and do a big one, once a year, or whatever it might be, and just go out and enjoy that together, as well.
yeah.
And so, really, it's about nurturing our
Mm.
relationships, investing time in our partnership and in our marriage, and maintaining the emotional and the physical, which is the best part, connection.
Yeah, I mean, I guess communication is key, isn't it? And date nights really provide us a time to communicate. Communicate, as Steve said before, problem solve, to talk about our family and
Yeah.
our relationship and things like that. But we've also found that date nights really provide us the space and the time to dream together and to dream about what the future
Mm,
holds for long term, but also in the short term, and to set direction as well for our family for the next term or the next. We often seem to do date nights during the holidays because we're both teachers, but it doesn't have to be in the holidays. It can be whenever, really. But and yeah, it helps us to set direction, and also we often pray
mm.
together in date nights as well, and we really talk about our team and the future and where it's going in the future, and really try and pray for each one of our kids and pray for our relationship, pray for each other, and just really be able to have that time together to just really vision for our family.
Yeah, if I think back to some of the really big decisions, including moving countries,
Yeah.
like, a lot of them came from the space of a date night,
Mm,
whether it be a weekend away or a day or whatever like that, a night, that opportunity to retreat and just have open, relaxed conversation helps to set that direction for your future.
yeah.
Um, they're also Date nights are awesome for setting examples for your children, right? The whole point of parenting a young person is that they would grow into a big person, who is a healthy adult, living in this world, following Jesus. So what we want to show them is that in order for our relationship to thrive, we actually need time together, and so we want to show them that as their parents, and they learn a lot from following us. In fact, parents, you are the number one influence in your children's life,
Mm.
which can be a scary thought, but is also a very exciting thought
Yeah,
for what you get to foster and what you get to grow. And so,
it's a big responsibility.
absolutely. So
Mm.
they're learning a lot about marriage relationships from the way that they see your marriage relationship.
Mm.
Um, it also gives a sense of like safety
Yeah.
to the team. Like the kids know when mum and dad are good, that the team is going pretty good, and there's safety knowing that they're living in a loving relationship.
Yeah, there was actually a lady that really spoke into our lives when we first had Isaac, I think. But I remember her telling me that she used to go away with her husband once a year, and they would go away for a few nights. And there was this one year that their children were getting quite old, and some of them in year 12 and things like that. And they're like, "Oh, it's just too hard this year. We won't do it." And so they said to the kids, "Oh, we're not actually going to go away this year. We're just going to let it slide." And the kids actually freaked out. They
Mm.
said, "What? Why are you getting a divorce?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" And they they were like, "Oh, every time you go away, it makes us feel safe because we know that you love each other and that you still want to spend time together." So that one really hit me. I've never forgotten that conversation. This was like 10 years ago, but it was just such a motivation, I guess, for us to keep date nights alive and keep our
Mm.
relationship alive, because it actually brings safety to our children as well, and they feel safe and they feel like they belong in a solid
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's a fun way of showing them how to prioritize in life, how to have a
Mm.
bit of fun and do that sort of stuff. Um, with babysitting, we're blessed with our options, but we've had some creative babysitting ideas in the past where we've looked after friends' kids and they've gone out, and then vice versa has happened. Our dog Spencer's a terrible babysitter, so I wouldn't recommend leaving him with the dog. If family, friends, if people offer, jump on it if you trust them, obviously. Um, but we like to find a babysitting option that's exciting and fun for them. And so rather than mum and dad are going away, so we're shoving you over here, it's, oh, we're going away, so you're getting to go away for a night at grandma and pops or whatever it might mean. It doesn't mean it can't be framed, it doesn't have to be framed in a horrible way. We're going
Mm.
away and leaving you. It's like, no, we're going together and you're actually going to go have fun over here. And so it can be really special time for your kids as well, whether it's with grandparents or friends or whatever it might be.
Mm.
We're not quite at the age where we can sort of give one out to different families and make that, but we know people with older kids who their kids sort of, they send them off to friends' houses, so it's a fun sort of sleepover. Um,
And it's kind of fun when you come back together to then talk about, "Oh, what did you get to do?
yeah, what did you
And what
do?
did you do?" And
Yeah, a bit of debrief.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's really fun in that way. And we've said it before, and we're going to keep saying it, that they don't have to be extravagant or costly. They can
or even
be,
long, like
yeah,
a 10-minute walk around the block, like to talk and debrief and do that. Like it's about pursuit of your partner.
yeah, and
Um,
about intention, I think too,
yeah,
and desire for it. So it can be, a shared hobby. It can be playing a game together. It can be just having dinner together. We actually know some friends
yeah.
who actually every Friday night is a date night for them, and they set the kids up with dinner, or the kids get their own
The
dinner.
kids are
I think now,
teenagers, so they get
um,
their own dinner in the front of the house, and then
yeah, and then they
they head
have
off to the back of the
their
house
own time.
with takeout or whatever, and have their own time. The kids know that for those few hours on a Friday night, mum and dad are on their date, and that's a great idea. You know your relationship, you know your kids, you know your schedule, and so you know how best to prioritize your relationship. And so we
Mm,
encourage you to sit down after this and actually have a chat about how can you create an environment or some space in your marriage, even if it's small or it could be big. We like to get away at least once a year together, even if it's just for one night. We have done some big ones interstate and stuff like that. But how can you do that? Talk to your partner. What does it look like? How can you make that happen? One, two, three.
mhm.
Hey, and here we are at home. Turns out if you shut your computer before the video is loaded, you don't get the end of your video. So here we are adding the end to the video. We're pretty new at this. So, yeah, all I wanted to say is that we want to set you a challenge, some homework, we're teachers, to go away and plan a date night. Okay, so this could be a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or 4 or 5 nighter, whatever you can plan. Or it could be, an hour or two while your kids are in bed and getting a special meal and keeping devices away and
Mm.
maybe having a topic to talk about or pray together or, whatever it might be. So there's your challenge. Get to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to know more, remember to click on our 5-day family insight guide. We're a part of that. There's a one of the days is about your marriage
Yeah.
and about dates as well. So yeah, get onto that. But
That's
if
on our website.
on our
So,
website, yeah.
yeah,
So www.gracefueledfamilies.com.
yeah.
Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to give you more content, because there's going to be more content coming regularly. So, yeah, get on board and join with us as we continue to build family teams and our family team and encourage you to build yours. So, God bless.
God
Signing
bless.
out.
See you later.
Bye.